Great to all the students. Welcome to Global Online. And here we are with our next class for NTA UGC Net Paper 2 2022, that is management subject. And in this, we are going to see unit 10, that is entrepreneurship development. So in this, we are going to start today this topic itself, that is entrepreneurship development, understanding the meaning of the word entrepreneurship, the process, what are the characteristics, and then we are going to go for entrepreneurship. So this is the first lecture of unit 10. We have already completed through 3 units of management, which the link is available in the description box. And now we will be starting with marketing also unit parallelly. So let's see how it works. Anyways, so you can subscribe the channel so that you can get all the updates whenever the videos are available. So as you all are aware that Global Online has started with an app. The app icon can be seen very clearly. We have UGC Net Management Paper 2 classes, which consist of complete video lectures, notes, test series, previous year question papers, that is in the form of PDF, that is with the answer key, as well as target based preparation. If you take exclusively paper 2, paper 1 will be free of cost, that is rupees 7,000 will be the costing. As well as we have exclusively class for paper 1 also, that is for 2022 batch, wherein the new batch will be starting on from 5th of May, wherein for paper 1 also we have daily live lectures, notes on all the topics in the form of PDF, last 10 years question papers, which are in the form of that is the answer key is also attached to it. Test series is there. So WhatsApp number for paper 1 and paper 2 both is given. You can check it on the screen. You can get in touch with the given WhatsApp number so that if you have any queries or any doubts, you will be able to sort it out very well. And the fees, if you're taking exclusively paper 1, the fees is 3,000, but if you're taking paper 2, the fees is 7,000, in which paper 1 will be free. Okay. Now, yes, let's start the session for the day. So we are going to start with entrepreneurship. So let's understand the introduction about entrepreneurship, what exactly it talks about. So entrepreneurship has become, has become increasingly important. Why? Because, all the businesses are growing around the world. It has opened new opportunities. With reference to possibilities for the business to create values for themselves and for the society at large. So obviously it is playing an important role, that is in the today's modern time. You can see every startup is coming up. So obviously it is playing a very important role. Despite of the popularity, studies suggest that the scope of entrepreneurship remains unknown. And therefore the prospects of entrepreneurial activities are not fully realized. So certain scope, the coverage is not completely, it is not completely known to the people, and so it's become little, it has not covered the way it has to cover the market. So this particular topic or chapter will be highlighting the concept, the entrepreneurial process, and the opportunities as well. So let's go and one by one start with the topic. So when we talk about the entrepreneurship, so in the modern day market, the term entrepreneur has been closely linked with economic development. So it results into the launch of new source of procurement for raw materials or for the product, new introduction of a new production mechanism. It means that your entrepreneur activities can be reflected from this particular pointers: a new quality of product or a novel product, opening of a new market, or reorganization of a business. It's nothing but it is a part of entrepreneurship. So management of all these aspects are carried by an enterprise, and the people whose functions are to carry out these activities are basically called as entrepreneurs. So it is not only about coming up with a new product. It can be a new mechanism, it can be a new product, it can be a procurement process, it can be opening of a new market, or just reorganizing of a business itself is called as what? Entrepreneurship. Now we have certain characteristics of entrepreneurship. So obviously entrepreneurs are vision oriented people. Okay, they definitely has to set the vision, and then only that's how they start with their establishment, you can say, or they start with their startups. Entrepreneurs have a high need in the achievement. They do not rely on the factors such as luck or fate. They do not have these words in their dictionary at all. However, they try to control their own lives. Entrepreneurs definitely and has to take moderate risks. which is why they look for high earning on their investments. They have an ability to deal, with several ambiguous situations in their venture. So they basically have to be prepared for dealing with it. They face these ambiguous situations and circumstances on a regular basis, and that's how they need to know how to come out of it. And that's how they can survive in this particular competitive world. Entrepreneurs have the tendency to be productive and efficient with a given period of time. However, at times they can be seen inflexible individuals in the teamwork also. So yes, they have to the basic feature or the characteristics you can say for the entrepreneur is to be productive and efficient. So if we talk about the traits, okay, or the challenges, you can say they have to come up with, they have to be a risk takers, they have to be flexible. Obviously, they have to be knowledgeable, they have to be self dependent, or you can say independent, energetic, yes, creative. When you're talking about entrepreneurs, creativity, it in fact is one of the most important feature which needs to be seen in entrepreneurs. They are the dynamic leaders. They have to be responsive to the suggestions as well as to criticisms. They are resourceful, they are the initiators, and they are persistent. So these are the common traits you can see in the entrepreneurs, and they have to be there. Otherwise, it's very difficult for them, as I said, to sustain, to survive, or to deal with this competitive world. Then, so if you put a proper definition of an entrepreneur, so entrepreneurship is a creation of organization. What differentiates entrepreneur from non-entrepreneur is the entrepreneurs create organization while non-entrepreneurs do not do it. In behavioral approach to the study of entrepreneurship, entrepreneur is seen as a set of activities which involves organization creation, while in a trait approaches, an entrepreneur is a set of personality traits and characteristics. Anyways, a specific definition you will be not definitely getting from this topic, but from the definition there can be a statement questions, so you have to be ready for that. So in this particular definition, we have seen that no doubt that entrepreneur has to be creative. Entrepreneur has to have a approach which definitely should differ, makes them different from a non-entrepreneurs. So basically what makes them different from a non-entrepreneur is that they create the organization, whereas non-entrepreneurs do not do it, and they have to have a various set of personality traits in order to deal with the market. So which include, just now we have seen flexibility, whereas creativity, initiativeness, self-dependence, these are all the personality attributes which they need to definitely carry with themselves. Now, so how does the entrepreneur process starts with? So obviously it starts with an identifying an opportunity. You may definitely get the steps, or you may get you need to identify which is the sequence, or which is not a process of entrepreneurship process, which is not a part of entrepreneurship process. So yes, identify an opportunity. This is very, very, very important. With the, I mean to say, entrepreneur, obviously they have to come up with something, but that something, it's not something in the form of an opportunity. Like for example, if I give an example of a very best example which I can, as per the current situation I can give is, we know that in pandemic situation, many of them, the process of sustaining their jobs, or people who had some other incomes were definitely at an were paused. Why? Because the things were not under the control, the situation was not under control. So but there were many people who took this as an opportunity. Like for example, many people who were not knowing this online form, digital form of payment, they knew that if they are not learning this, they are not able to survive. So you can see digital form of payment really took a great hype in this particular period. People who were who decided to start this as an they were not doing anything, and they decided to take it ahead, and they have really, in this span of 1.5 years, they are earning well and they are doing well. So it's very important, it is that the entrepreneurs need to always seek an opportunity. They have to identify the opportunity, and they have to make use of that opportunity, and that's how they try to understand the potential within them, and that's how they can start the process with. Then definitely they have to persuade others. So for persuasion or the communication, should it doesn't matter the language or what, what exactly you're communicating, but unless and until what you communicate, what you're conveying, if it is understood, people are convinced with that, obviously, will have a better hold in your organization. So persuasion is second important part. Establishing a vision, gathering the sources, creating new ventures or a product or a market, or look for an untapped market, and then change and adapt with the time. So yes, it is very important that they definitely cannot go in the same form for years and years. They have to ensure that as per the changing time, as per the changing situation, they are adopting the change and they're moving ahead. We have already done change organization development, where we have studied change management. So they have to understand the need and importance of change, and they have to keep on going. So now the next topic you have is the theories of entrepreneurship development. So let's quickly have a look or one all the theories one by one. So what I'll do, instead of going through all this, we will just go by one with the theories. So first is an economic theory. So when we talk about economic theory, entrepreneurship and economic growth take place when the economic conditions are favorable. So economic incentives are one of the main motivators for the entrepreneurial activities. Now, this is very sure, entrepreneurial activities cannot be done. It cannot be done on the basis of what you can say, on the basis of non-profit organization. Obviously they are here to earn, they are here to make a profit. So they have to, for them, what motivates more is the economic incentives. So economic incentives includes what? The taxation policy, industrial policy, sources of finance, raw materials, infrastructure availability, investment, marketing opportunity, access to information, as well as market condition and technology. See, these are all the aspects which are very important with respect to what? With respect to economic incentives. The next one you have is sociological theory. Entrepreneurship is likely to get a boost in a particular social culture. Like societal values also plays an important role. So it talks about religious belief, customs, taboos, taboo, that is, the taboos that influence the society. So the entrepreneur is a role performer according to the expectation of the society. So the entrepreneur should ensure that the societal values are preserved. The societal beliefs, religious beliefs are taken into consideration whenever they are coming up with something new. So yes, that is nothing but a part of sociological theory. Then we have a psychological theory. So entrepreneurship gets a boost when society has sufficient supply of individuals with necessary psychological characteristics. Like for example, high achievement, a vision, a foresight, ability to face the opposition. So this is basically formed during the individual upbringing, which stress more on standards of excellence, professionalism, self-reliance, low father dominance, or these are the attributes of the psychology. So you cannot be very harsh with the customers, you cannot be very very upfront. You need to know the situation, you need to understand the psychology of the customer, and then you need to come up with the thing. So like for example, some marketers, if some entrepreneurs are very good in diverting the minds. When I say diverting, when we go to a particular shop, they study your mind. In fact, see, as an entrepreneur, that is very important. They study your mind. Like for example, you have decided that you're going to purchase only 2 pair of clothes for yourself, and you go to the shop and you're just flattered by seeing the new designs, the latest collection, and you are very firm that okay, no, I will definitely make sure whatever it is, but still I'll end up buying only 2 pair of dresses. But the way the person has understood your psychology, which he will do it in the first 5 minutes of interaction, and then he will understand what exactly is your taste, and how your mind can be diverted, and they do that, and that's how therefore them it is beneficial, and we as in customers burn the pocket. But yes, psychological theory, which is the one of the important part where the entrepreneur is very good at. Next we have is the innovation theory. So this is the theory given by Joseph Scumter, who believes the entrepreneurs Entrepreneur helps the process of development in an economy with the help of innovation, creativity. So it is related to the coming up with a new product, introducing the product method, opening up a new market, or source of raw material, or new organization in industry. So it can be in any form, but there has to be innovation. So the theory emphasizes on innovation, ignoring the risk taking and organizing the abilities of an entrepreneur. He has Joseph Sumter, and entrepreneur is a large scale businessman who is really found in developing countries, where the entrepreneurs of the small scale business who need to imitate rather than to innovate. Okay, so thus, yes, it is very important that at a large scale market, you can't just get enter, and you can't actually I mean to say, you cannot survive or sustain for a longer period of time. So that's what he said, that in the small business, the entrepreneur needs to imitate first rather than to innovate. So to understand the market and to understand the things very well. Then the high achievement theory of motivation, which is given by McClan. The two characteristics of an entrepreneur are highlighted over here. That is doing things in a new and a better way, and decision making under uncertainty. So he stressed that people with high achievement orientation need to succeed, were more likely to become entrepreneurs. So the one who is, have the high achievement are the one who are having all the signs of becoming an entrepreneur. Whereas, such people are not influenced by money or external incentives. They consider profit to be a measure of success and competency. So for them, the things comes from the profit. The next one, the motivation by, McClan, as acquired need theory. So here a person has three types of needs. Like, for example, need for achievement, that is get success with own effort. Need for power, that is to dominate. Power, it means authority, domination. Achievement, it means success, related to success. And affiliation, it means, maintaining friendly relations. Okay. So the need for achievement is the highest for entrepreneur, which comes from either of this. Okay. Now, we have the next topic is entrepreneur, intrapreneur. In intrapreneur, you have just, the concept as well as you have the process. So as per the syllabus, only two topics they have given to you regarding with this particular, I mean to say, this particular thing. So let's first understand, what exactly you mean by the word intrapreneur. So when we talk about intrapreneur and okay, we'll see the difference also. I will first make you understand this, and then I will take you to the difference also. Now when we talk about an intrapreneur, sorry, an employee who is given the freedom and financial support to create new products, a service system, who does not have to follow the company usual protocols, okay, is the one, is the one who can take, or who is called as, or who is known as what, who is known as the intrapreneur. Okay, so now when we talk about difference between entrepreneur and intrapreneur, so when I'm talking about entrepreneur, it is something, I mean to say, the aim of an entrepreneur is to increase the wealth, individual wealth, and the ownership by creating or his own business. Whereas in intrapreneur, if you have seen, they are rewarded, to the existing resources with this particular, either the freedom as well as with the financial support. So that is the basic difference between entrepreneur as well as intrapreneur. So this is basic thing. You do not have much things, in differences, but you need to know this very well. Okay, that is what exactly is entrepreneur and what exactly is intrapreneur. Then we have next is the characteristics. So what is the characteristics? You can see in intrapreneur, they have to be diverse. They have to have a diversified thinking vision. They have to have an innovative approach, same like the entrepreneur. Restoration concept should be there. Okay, they need to be very clear about restoration concept, which is very, very, important. So like, for example, if you want an example over here, the ability to, ability to come up with a new thing, ability to, come up with new ideas or unique ideas, you can say that. So ability. Okay, mutual benefits, that is for the for organization as well as for themselves. They for them, one of the important characteristics is that they calculated risks. no investment is done by the entrepreneur. It is because it is done by the to say intrapreneur does not make an investment. It is done by the entrepreneur. And profit sharing agreement, because for that's what they have, they are been utilizing their time, their energy, their dedication, but obviously that is again to earn profit. So they are, they are more interested in this profit sharing agreement. So now let's understand. So if you see this process, it is in 6 steps. So if this is a diagrammatic presentation, one by one, we will go with the steps also. So invite ideas from the employees, match the ideas with the organizational criteria, examine the ideas, obtain the buy-ins, carry out the SWOT analysis, design and pitch the idea to make it workable. But how does it works out? Let's see. So the first step is to encourage the workers to come up with their views and opinions. Also, the employee should be made familiar with the person or the authority in front of whom he or she can present the idea. That is, who is the entrepreneur they are talking about. So that is your test step 1, coming up with the idea. Step 2 talks, the next is analyzing the compatibility of the idea with the organizational need, mission, objectives, values, vision, consumer demand, etc. So you have to analyze the compatibility of the idea, how it is idea is compatible according to the, according to the situation. The third is, to inspect the idea from the perspective, okay, for the betterment. Obviously, it has to work out. That is very, very important. The fourth step is, it's crucial as it aims at getting the approval, approval from the team, from the associates, maybe from the investors, even from the customers, or in the case of industrial buyers. So it is, you have to ensure that the idea gets approved. That is very, very important. The fifth step talks about the final feasibility test of any new project that can be done by identifying the SWOT analysis, that is identifying the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat. And for that, the person himself or herself, for the idea as well as for the person also, it's very beneficial to do the SWOT analysis. And at the end, it is an idea is well tested for compatibility, acceptability, and feasibility. It is modified, crafted, and finalized, and becomes workable for the organization. So this is how, with the help of 6 steps, entrepreneur process has been followed up. Okay. So yes, thank you everyone. As I said, in this week, I'll try to put both the units. I'm trying my level best. After completing entrepreneurship, I'll be targeting for marketing management. So let's see how it is going to work out. Accordingly, I'll keep on posting. So on regular basis, the videos are coming now for management. So you can just have a look at these videos and ensure that, your paper 2 preparation is also going, side by side well with your paper 1, parallelly with your paper 1. Okay. Thank you, everyone.